We have no inflation, according to the Fed and the three blind mice. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Daily Update. Excuse me, this is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, February the 21st. And of course, this update will be brought to you by our friends at Family Farms, our new partners, and of course, the ones we hope to get out and actually teach and help farmers do a better job at holding on to their capital and protecting what's in the ground and what they plan on putting in later. In the meantime, okay, of course, according to the Federal Reserve, we have no inflation, okay, but, in the meantime, our bills continue to mount. We continue to pay more and more for goods and services as we look at, the general picture of markets. And what is the general picture? Well, we've got higher prices in all the commodities, okay, which means that we have more, higher prices will be at the stores. We continue to pay more, but of course, the old, lousy, antiquated thing that the Fed uses to gauge inflation is about as worthless as those things in a bull, okay? Because obviously we're paying more, but when you exclude food and energy, okay, that always changes the dynamics. But who's worried about the refrigerator that you're going to buy every 10 years or the washing machine or whatever? But instead, the products that we use every single day continue to go higher, okay? And of course, we don't have anybody working right now, which means that people can't keep up and you're getting some massive evictions. But the Federal Reserve, this is why the Fed should be ended or at least audited, but this is part of the big government that everybody wanted, obviously, because that's who won the election. But here's what we have, and this is what you have to look forward to, is they continue to squeeze everybody. And of course, the latest is the Fed sees a lot of business failure. Well, really? How is that possible? Only because it's been shut down for almost a year now? Because you systematically let the government destroy all small business? So who would be surprised that that we'll see a lot of failure, okay? But that has not stopped the inflation. That has not stopped the rising cost. It has not stopped the new housing bubble being created as houses go up at rates that are ridiculous, okay? I mean, I can speak from personal experience, okay? Within 2 years, okay, or 2.5 years, I bought 2 different houses. I sold one for a 40% gain. I could have got more, but I just wanted to get out. Okay, and I bought another one, and I can sell that one now for a 50% gain. Okay, all within just under 2.5 years. So you tell me what's going on here. Okay, this is why the Fed is got no clue or no common sense, and they don't understand what goes on, and they're using models that are probably from the 1800s. Well, they weren't started until 1913 or 19, so whatever year it was. Okay, they're that old. Okay, and they don't work. Okay, and they have no comprehension that printing money, okay, and manipulating currency does not work. It does not create jobs. It does not create growth. It creates nothing but debt. And of course, hey, why don't we just keep pushing the debt down? In the meantime, Americans are starving today, okay, because the job market is drying up because of lack of jobs. The job market is struggling, okay. They're worried about the $15 minimum wage. They better start worrying about people working, because one thing we know for sure, automation will come into play. And people that are working in those types of jobs, okay, will be out of jobs altogether, because you don't think that the big chains are already experimenting with automation. And if you force their hand, they will go to 100% automation other than maybe one person or 2 people. So, we're only eliminating ourselves. Of course, I think that is more of the grand plan. Okay, because I think the grand plan is to get to a global currency. I think the grand plan is to basically grab control. And what are you seeing right now? You're seeing some of the big money buying up all the property because they want to control the food supply. Okay, there's a lot of things going on. Okay, that should not be going on. Okay, and of course, this is what happens when you destroy a class of people and you let government take charge. Okay, I mean, again, businesses, recessions should happen. Okay, all that recessions do, if you let them work the way they're supposed to, is they take the weak out and they allow new business to flourish in a market that then comes its way in, and strong businesses survive through everything. So, this whole backwards thinking, Fed-driven bubble, okay, which is already having troubles now. We don't know when it's going to collapse. As you know, when we'll tell you our positions in our market report, we're long. But in the meantime, everybody knows that eventually this cannot end well. When you allow the banking system to lend as much as they want, and when you keep promising free money, but suddenly the fixed income market, which is the bond market, is going down while the Fed is buying bonds, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So this is not going to play out well, and more than likely, we will see, and who knows, I don't know when, I'm not predicting, I'm just saying, more than likely you'll probably see a global depression, because this is not just a problem here, this is a problem globally, okay? And basically, it is what certain parties are looking for, okay, to create these issues, because all it does then is create more power and do more of the destruction of a capitalistic system. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. So inflation is here. They can tell me all they want. We can't meet that 2% target. Okay, well, I can tell you that my expenses were more than 2% higher than they were the year before. Okay, and they're already higher again. So you can tell me all you want, there's no inflation, but when gasoline doubles and all the other things are at record high prices, that should tell you something all by its lonesome. Okay, now listen. In the meantime, okay, all of a sudden, all the people that voted for the current administration, okay, are realizing that maybe they made a mistake in voting for this big government. So as the old saying goes, maybe they cut their nose off to spite their face, because we are starting to realize and see that too much government control is never good. Okay, and unfortunately, it's only going to get worse unless President Biden remains more center. But who knows if he's really calling the shots anyways. I would venture to say he might not even be really calling the shots, but we'll see. Again, so far, he's staying more towards moderate, but if he gets too far, God help us all. Okay. In the meantime, look, every day we're getting less freedoms. Okay. You think you may laugh at this when you see this, you may call me a nut, you may say this, but at the end of the day, you're losing the freedom of speech. Okay, they want to destroy the Second Amendment. Okay, now one thing we know for sure is the criminals will always have the guns. Okay, do you think that a law-abiding citizen that has a legalized gun wants to give up their guns? Okay, because some political party wants it that way? Okay, I mean, you are witnessing history and destruction of possibly the greatest economy ever by, you take a look at California, 70% of their budget goes to illegal aliens. And there are nurses there that want to give away free health care. Okay. I mean, now, free does not work if you have no growth, no business, no nothing. And where is it going to come from? Where is the growth going to come from? And how are we going to continue when we've totally decided to go back into a services type of country versus manufacturing. Okay, we've given up our power on oil. Okay, so oil doubles. Okay, we're giving everything away once again. Okay, bringing more service jobs here. Okay, instead of creating and allowing us to do what we do best, which is everything. Okay, I mean, the United States is easily self-sufficient if needed. Okay, and of course now we are once again giving up the power. Okay, and getting rid of the things that made America great. Okay, so I think that you're seeing some of this play out within the crypto space because the cryptocurrency itself, okay, not Bitcoin at 50,000, but the cryptocurrency itself, okay, is based on a libertarian point of view, which is free money, that a free market that cannot be manipulated by a government or an agency, and there cannot be more of it. There is what there is, very much similar to gold and silver. Okay, because if they ever, right now the cost of drilling and mining is much higher, so they wouldn't be going for it now anyways at these prices. But it's the same theory behind it. But people are tired of the manipulation of currency or the devaluation of what you own, which is all they're really doing is magically devaluing your assets. Even though you've got more money, it's worth so much less. And, look, I can talk about the Fed forever because they are as worthless as could be. They have no clue of how markets work. They have no clue what true price discovery is. They want to control and manipulate the entire situation, which is why in today's world, okay, for the average person, if you can invest, there's only one place you can, and that is the stock market. Okay. And of course, they are piling everybody on almost as they're putting them on the Titanic. Okay. And believe me, okay, there will be another market meltdown at some point. Who knows when? We go to another 30,000. Who knows what? But at some point, there will be another meltdown. And we will talk more about that in our market sector. When we come back from the break, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, okay, February the 21st. And remind you, yesterday, we introduced to everybody our portfolio models, okay, with automation, okay, through Trader. And, again, you don't have to automate if you don't want to. It's certainly up to you. You can do manually or automation. But you now have the opportunity and the choice through Trader Brokerage, which is $10 a month. Now, I have other brokers, and I'll give you a full disclosure. I'll tell you everything. Okay. I have other brokers, but for active trading, why would I want to pay more than $10 a month when I can pay $10 and have my portfolio totally automated, okay, as I do with my hedging? So, I mean, those are real costs that I'm saving. So anyway, it's Trader Brokerage. They're one of our brokerage partners. And of course, $10 a month, great customer service. I just finished a free 6-course option session with them. And if you want, you have the option to go automation. And of course, our other brokerage partner for our futures and commodities, the CTG group. Again, I have other futures accounts, okay, but I predominantly, first of all, let the CTG trade my own portfolios. They do all of my letter direction trading for me. They are the only authorized vendor of my algorithms, and they do many of our members. And again, nobody has to go for letter direction. Nobody has to go to automation. It is simply your choice. But CTG does a phenomenal job with great service, and they've got some great managed futures product you may want to check out. You can either email me for a link at bub@bubbtrading.com, or I will go to their website at Capital Trading Group. Okay, they're in Chicago, and of course, again, they're unbelievable. And our commodity report, which is written by Andy Hecht. I mean, look, Andy's now writing for Bar Chart as well, and you can catch some of the stuff there. But he is by far one of the greatest writers with the greatest understanding of how markets work. Okay, and of course, that's something that's important to everybody, is how the markets function. Okay, and this will be the last day I'm going to offer Okay. If you'd like to see last week's issue, okay, I will send you last week's issue. Okay. It is called Technomental. Okay. And it is available for $129 a month or on an annual basis. Up to you. You can check it out. But in the meantime, it's called Technomental. Of course, don't forget about our high school program at Patreon. patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That is patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to my Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and our market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz here on Sunday, February the 21st. And of course, this segment will be brought to you by Trade Your Brokerage. Why not? Okay. Again, they're the highlight of our weekend anyways. We just finished their options training course. And of course, we can automate through them if you choose. That is totally your choice. And for $10 a month, you really have to think about long and hard about how much money you're going to save to use a broker that is $10 a month. In the meantime, okay, markets continue to defy all logic. Now, they were not higher. They were slightly flat to lower last week, but all made new highs during the week once again. Okay, the Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, and S&P. And right now, again, there is no place else to go. So you have to assume that markets are going higher, and they will go higher until they don't. And we are long. I mean, look, end of the day, as I always disclose what my positions are every day, we are long all four major indexes. Okay, we are long a lot of the stocks out there. We're short a few, but whatever, we're long. And at the end of the day, okay, you have a market that right now wants to go higher. And why fight the trend? That's the whole point of trend and mechanical trading, is why fight it? Nobody here logically believes that we're going to go higher, but of course the trend is still up. In the meantime, the crude market had, a little bit of a late week sell-off, but is still, almost still doubled. Well, actually, obviously since the lows, 10 times. But, since the new administration's in place and since OPEC is taking back control and they're going to start causing shortages again, you can bet on it, okay? Because, of course, they're not really our friends. And you see oil now, approaching that 60 level, went through it, got to about 62 before it failed. But certainly, I never thought I would see $100 oil again, but I think you can certainly see it now. Now again, I'm long as much as I hate it. I'd rather be short, but okay, this is what you got. Okay, this is part of the inflation we've been talking about. In the meantime, the biggest warning sign of all this is the bond markets. Okay, we're short bonds and notes, which is great. However, one of the real issues here is if the Federal Reserve is buying X amount of dollars per month, okay, and they're going to keep interest rates low, okay, why are the bond markets and fixed income markets raising rates? Because that's what would happen. When bond futures go lower, that means rates are going higher. So we've got so many diverging factors here with this inflation and the whole talk, okay, that the bond market, which is the biggest market in the world, is giving a nasty message. And again, you can't do anything with it today, but it is something to pay attention to, okay? The metals, look, platinum went up, made 7-year highs, okay, and pulled back a little bit, but is unbelievably strong right now. Silver is picking up to an uptrend after we were short during the big Wall Street bet squeeze, which was, they came out with, there was fake news, which we'll talk about in our commentary. But of course, we then got long the second day into the sell-off and got long lower, okay, and obviously our long here, I think that silver is ready to burst. It's got key level on the key on the top upside will be $13. If it can get through, $30. If it can get through 30, I think it's got a long run to go. Gold remains in a downtrend, and I would expect to see 1750, probably 1700, as we remain short gold. Okay, and we will be short until we're not. And another issue to look at, copper. Okay, now we're long copper, but copper is approaching. It's within 15% of the all-time highs made in 2008. 2008. What happened in 8? And it's exploding. Okay, the one attempt to sell it was put down, and it's skyrocketing again. Now, again, to me, that looks like it's coming towards an end. But again, I'm still long. I'm not going to try to short because I think what I see. I would rather wait for the trend to switch, and then I'll get short with it. Okay. Natural gas continues to move higher, and of course that makes sense with the weather, and we're still long nat gas. And the dollar is kind of churning. We're still long dollars, but I think we're one down day away from reversing and shorting dollars. Okay, I think that's real. I don't know that for a fact yet, but that's what my suspicion is, that the dollar does not look good. The market does not look good. Okay, from the dollar standpoint. So we'll see. Again, everything about markets is about the trend, about the path of least resistance, and how can you best take advantage of it. Okay, and of course, in the grain markets, they're all fine. I mean, listen, they're kind of in these big, wide, sweeping consolidation patterns now. We're still long all three, corn, wheat, and beans. They all look solid. They all look like they want to go higher. And I see no reason to believe that it will not keep exploding higher. I think this is great action if you're a bull right now. And this is a great opportunity to either add on or to get in, but we're still long. And in the meats, cattle, cattle and hogs, they look great. I mean, they haven't blown out to the upside yet, but they're holding very nicely. And I think one thing you got to remember is the attempt to sell them has failed. And at some point, I think that these set up, as did the grains, right before the big rallies, I think we're going to see big rallies in corn, in cattle, both fats and feeders, and hogs. Now, hogs have already really started to jet, but they're still far away from where they could be. And, people mentioned the swine flu and blah, blah, blah. Meantime, price action will dictate, but we're bullish and long across the board. And, these softs, we're long cotton, which is near a high. Okay, we are short OJ. Okay, but, and it had a down week. We are now short coffee. Okay, we're long sugar. Okay, and we're short cocoa, but I'm assuming cocoa is probably getting ready to switch because it's been, going up the last few days. But again, those are our positions as of, and will be those positions until Tuesday. Okay, because we won't change until the close of Monday, tomorrow. So now, obviously, we saw the Bitcoin craze this week again, and it continues. All right, now, what is that telling you? Well, I think one of the things it tells you is that there are more people looking for a true free market that trades every day, that is not controlled or manipulated by a central bank, because we can see the failures that central banks create. In the meantime, again, look, I own a little bit of cryptocurrencies. As I tell you all the time, it isn't enough that if it all went to zero tomorrow, which is always a possibility, I won't lose one wink's worth of sleep. Okay, there's not enough there right now. And if it gets too big, believe me, I'll protect it or I'll take the money. Okay, so have no fear. I believe in it. I think it's real. However, it is a little frothy here. And certainly it could turn out just to be another bubble. But for now, I think that it is the choice for free market people and libertarians. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, again, if you want to take some risk, then, go in and look for some of the other newer ones, the smaller ones, and, see if you can, find one that's going to be the next Bitcoin maybe. That's all. But in other words, it's got to be a gamble. It only can be a risk capital. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, February the 21st, and we're going to stop by for a break and come back with our commentary. Just a reminder that, our brokerage partners we've got, one for futures and commodities and one for equities and options. And for futures and commodities, it is the CTG group. Okay. And of course, they are the only ones authorized to put out our letter of direction. They for our trades. They do them for many of our members, including myself. Okay. They've got some great managed futures projects with great customer service and always there to help you. You can either email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com for a link to their website, or you can look up their website. It's the Capital Trading Group in Chicago. And again, do a phenomenal job. Very pleased, although I do have other brokers. And of course, we talked about Trader, which is, again, $10 a month, great customer service. We have the APIs, so on and so forth. Wonderful product. And, our commodity report with Andy Heck, as I tell you, it's one of the finest reports I've ever read. And he's not writing as an author. He's writing as a guy who's experienced it, lived it, and seen it. It's called Technomental. This is the last day I will offer to give you last week so you can check it out. Okay, if you want it, hey, feel free, send me an email, bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll be happy to send you the last week's copy. After that, again, there won't be any more free offers for a while. And, again, it's a phenomenal product. If you're in the commodities industry and you trade them or you want to be more informed, there's nothing like the report that he writes every week and summarizes every Friday. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, February the 21st. And of course, obviously, the hot news is the big short squeeze. And then, of course, the hearings we're getting now. And of course, Robinhood is in danger. And nobody's really talking much about the registered rep who was on Reddit, who might have been behind all this in the first place. I think there's a lot more to come here. But Robinhood totally did by far the wrong thing. I don't even know what they did is legal through the right channels. Okay. I don't know those results, but I do know that unless it was only shorting and stocks are hard to borrow, then they cannot shut down. Okay. But what it says to me is we know they've had some financial troubles, and it tells me they don't have enough in reserve to cover everything, so they had to shut it down. But we'll see. But again, I think the squeeze itself was almost, again, I'm not going to call it a collusionary event, but I would not fall off my chair if it turned out to be some sort of a planned event to create these massive short squeezes, because we saw it, and we've seen it over the year. I mean, there's been many, Volkswagen, Tesla. So there's been many short squeezes over the years. Okay, even in markets for a very short period of time. That's what creates those rip your face off rallies. But and you see them in grains. We saw a long squeeze in crude oil over the summer. So in the meantime, okay, but this was more. This looks to me was more organized and more designed to do exactly what it did and create an impossible, ridiculous market, because the facts that are being put out right now is the person that actually started the story, who said it was educational, has made $58 million. Okay. But short squeezes are part of markets. And, this is one of the problems if you don't understand what you're doing. And of course, I don't think Robinhood was qualified to even be involved in it. And I don't know if they were letting people overshort. Again, I don't know what they were doing, but there's certainly going to be a lot more from this story. Okay. And don't be surprised if a few people go to jail, because I think that was help fueled by people that are not allowed by their registrations to let these things appear, okay, and make these type of statements. We'll see how it plays out, but it's certainly a big story. And what's the next one? Because it looked like they were trying to do it with the pot stocks as well. So we'll see. But it's as typical and figured out, and it should be a scam, and it looks like it turned out to be. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. As always, I thank you. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. I hope you enjoyed the hockey. If you're a hockey fan, although they couldn't get them all in because of the too warm of weather in Lake Tahoe, but it was kind of cool, especially because I played that golf course. But in the meantime, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Be healthy, be safe. As always, I appreciate your viewing, and we'll see you tomorrow on Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll see you tomorrow.